Okay, people stars, listen up. It's your girl, Shay Renee, and I want to welcome y'all back to my channel. Period. Hey, okay. Good morning. Hey, y'all better hit that like button. Mm, mm. I said, y'all better hit that like button. Period, because I'm up. Yes, like Diddy said, I'm staying in the light. Period, you see? Miss Preston girl. Mm, mm. So shout out to that. Let's see. Okay, so shout out to that. Now listen, y'all. Tell me why. So Jane is still on the stand. We still on the stand with Jane, right? And I'm like, ugh, like what is going on? This is day 20, by the way. This is day 20 of the trial. And like, I don't know. People are already saying the prosecution is probably about to rest. I'm like, what? Like, I don't know. It's almost like when you taste your food and you like something is missing. You see, yeah, I feel like it's some ingredients missing from this trial, if that makes sense. Like, yeah, but we gonna get into that. It coming up later on, y'all make sure y'all hit that like button. Y'all get in here, hit that like button if y'all haven't already. Subscribe, okay? Because my channel is the place to be, okay? Period. So shout out to that. Hit the like button, all right, and click subscribe. Let's go, y'all. Now, big. Hold up. I'm hot. Y'all see my lovers? You see my lovers down there? Lord, I got bags everywhere. They pretty much everywhere. So shout out to that. Now, anyway, you see, maybe Nene Leaks was trying to save y'all. Yeah, from that. Okay. Whole time, y'all thought Miss Nene didn't want y'all in her closet. You see, y'all thought she didn't want y'all in her closet. Ooh, child. Happy Wednesday. I'm in the best mood today. So shout out to that. I sure am. Today gonna be a good one. Yes, I said today gonna be a good one. Welcome to my channel, Pooper Stars. If you new here, let me tell you what we do here. We link the news, okay? Period. To our opinion. So shout out to that. Hey. Lethal Scopes. Okay, Lethal Scopes in the building this morning. Shout out to Lethal Scopes for dropping in my comments. Yeah, y'all, like this gonna be a wonderful day, you see. And this is politicking hour, so I want to welcome y'all to another politicking hour. Y'all know what it is. That's when we politic. It is what it is. We talk that talk, see. And today we talking Diddy. Yeah, mainly, but we can get into whatever y'all trying to get into. So shout out to that. What else is going on? Hey, lethal shooter. Make sure you hit that. Lethal scopes. Make sure you hit that like button, okay? Yes. And stay in the light. Okay. So anyway, y'all. I just feel like, at this point, I'm like, Did these people ever really drive it home? Yeah. Yeah. Shout out to that. We're going to have to ask Miss Daisy. Did these folks ever drive it home in this courtroom? I just, I'm still underwhelmed. I said I'm just still feeling underwhelmed. So y'all hold on. Hold tight. Period. Okay, hold that thought. Hold on. Okay. Now, so, y'all ready? We're about to get into the court. Yeah, what happened in the courtroom? What happened in the courthouse? You see, first of all, they saying, let me tell y'all right now, they saying Miss Preston Curl got busy on that stand yesterday. Mm. Oh yes, baby. Oh yes, just like Chick-fil-A on right when they open. Yeah, right at opening time. They said Miss Preston Curl got busy, okay? Yesterday on the stand. That's just what that is. Yeah. They said this just you see, I feel like she feel like they didn't play with her enough, okay? Period. So shout out to that. I said shout out to that then. Um, I called it where they was talking about therapy. Now let me just say this. Yesterday's testimony was all over the place. You see, like it was, girl, it, Poopa Stars. It was like Ray J's hat. You see, it was kind of like me, your girl, Shay Renee, here, there, everywhere. You see, it was. I was like, what's going on? Like, it was crazy, and like. I was like annoyed with my sources a little bit, but like a word on the curb is that's the way it was in court yesterday, okay? That's the way it was in court yesterday. Lethal Scopes, what is you out here talking about? Like, what is you out here talking about? Okay? Stay in the light. Alright? Stay in the light. Okay. So shout out to that. Now anyway, so they started out where I called it at, where they was basically asking her, like what type of money was you making? Like was Diddy knocking your hustle? And she basically said that kinda, yeah, sorta. Cause she feel like she not been so focused on Diddy, she could have been more in her bag. And I feel like, yeah, I mean that's common sense. Like a lot of people could be more in their bag if they were single. That's a lot of people. That just is what it is. People sacrifice for relationships. Okay. So yeah, Miss Pressica was on the stand saying she did that. It just is what it is. And that's not hard to believe. So they like, did he give you $150,000? Did he give you $150,000? She was like, I would assume, like I'd assume. They in court talking like that's big money for Diddy. I'm like, go ahead on. Don't be in court acting like that's no big money for Diddy. You see? I said, see, what she did was she tried it. Hold on. So, she also testified that Diddy brought religion into her life. I said, ooh, okay. Melodies from heaven type stuff. And introduced her to gospel music. She said Diddy will put on sermons from his favorite pastor. Okay. I said, okay. Well, shout out to that. Y'all know we was all wondering if TD Jake's name was about to come up. I said we was just looking for TD Jakes. We was all looking for TD Jakes. That's crazy. But anyway, it is what it is. Let's move on. Because it could have been another pastor. It could have been. She was testifying about Turks, saying she had a good time. Now y'all know this is Diddy's attorney asking her questions, so she is trying to make it seem like, to me, like basically the lady was a consenting adult. It just is what it is. Um, she said she had a good time in Turks, right? Okay, so then she says she loves him, flat out. She loves him. And after Turks, okay, she was sending him text messages talking about she felt closer. And I'm like, okay, ain't that what she's supposed to say? You know what I'm saying? She had to beg this man. Remind you, she had to beg him to take her on trips. So, like, that's what they were. Shout out to Sean David Way, I would say. You see? Like, I feel like that's stuff that she should be saying, if she want another trip. Uh, she said she enjoyed the love making, between her and Diddy. And that was that's the only part that she enjoyed when it came to freak offs, okay? Yeah. It just is what it is. Now, I know Miss Preston Curl trying to get us not to use the word freak offs, but I'm like, ugh, okay? And it was also saying that Diddy is paying for Miss Preston Curl's attorney. I said, of course. Of course. That sounds about right. Diddy is paying for everything. Because, like, when I say everything, I mean everything. And I just feel like I already said, I feel like it's a tactic. You see, it's like hush money. It is what it is. If it work, it work. If it don't, it don't. At least he in court looking like, kind of like, I think, his team is like, no. Keep doing it. You see, it's going to make you look good in the end. It is what it is if he got the money to spend. It's either that or these people got his accounts on froze, like they saying, and he can't get out of it. Like, this is what she was doing before. And so, like, yeah, it's just going to keep rolling, which is crazy. Child, that's crazy. But yeah, she said, because they was trying to get her to say, if she liked having freak offs. And I don't think she do. She wasn't going for that. She was like, no, I sure don't. Yeah. And I think they also using it as a way to say, you see, like rent was never an issue. It was never held over her head like that. So yeah, I feel like it's working out in his favor for him to still be paying her rent. Okay. Now also, hold on. See, this is the thing. Hold on. Hold on, y'all. Because this is the thing. I feel like my notes is all over the place. So for that, I'm annoyed. 1 second. Hold on. So anyway, yeah, okay. Nah, I'm right on time. Yeah, you see, yeah, I'm right on time. So shout out to that. Now so after Turks, the man said he gonna give her a new name, new nickname. This man said he gonna call her a Roswell rack pipe, a crack pipe, a crack pipe, a crack pipe. I said, listen, now y'all finna quit playing with me. I almost tapped out. You see, I almost just tapped out. I said they finna quit playing with me. I said, yeah, he hated her. Yeah, he did. He hated her. She also testified that when she complained, he would call her crazy and threaten her and threaten her to stop paying her rent and release those videos. I said, okay. Okay, Miss Pressure Curl, you know you can't do that. Now, you know you ain't gonna be able to do that. You see? I'm like, okay, now everybody that seen Diddy do everything, but men. So shout out to that. But according to her though, Miss Pressing Girl, she was his. Child, I was done. I was absolutely done. I said, y'all lying to me. You see, I just wanted them to be lying to me. Ooh, child. So anyway, hold on. They asked her that if at times did you really like, but come on, keep it real. Did you because first of all, they said like the vibe in the courtroom was like girlfriend to girlfriend. Like they at times this attorney, which was Garagos, they said Tenny Garagos, okay, which is Mark's daughter, which I think is very interesting because we all know Mark Garagos been on Diddy's legal team for years. I'm like, okay, what's going on with Miss Presser Girl though? Why he ain't up there? You see, and why he got his daughter up there? But anyway, they said that the daughter would bump heads with Daphne a little. Oh, my bad. Jane. Okay, Jane. Because y'all know I ain't in the courtroom. So I don't know who on the stand, but I know who they saying. They think it's on the stand, all right? But like, I like to move with integrity, so I don't, you know what I'm saying, just necessarily I'm not throwing her name around, for like, it's and giggles, So Jane, okay, she is referred to as Jane over here. That's my bad. I let that slip out. My bad. Anyway, her and Jane been going back and forth a little bit. But other than that, they said they vibing. They vibing. Old girl talking to her, making her feel like they homegirls or something. So she asked her at one point, like, keep it real. Did you ever really think that Diddy was going to stop paying your rent? And Jane was like, yeah, sometimes she did, which I believe that. It is what it is. I believe that. First of all, Jane, she did a lot of things wrong messing with Diddy, and I think that, like, overall, like, that's what stings her the most. She was very patient and not so bright, if you will, for Diddy. It just is what it is, okay? She was. Y'all make sure y'all hit the like button. Y'all get in here and hit the like button, all right? Period. I don't care what else is going on. I promise you, I don't care. I don't care. Not like that, all right? Because I am the only person that does really care like that. So shut up. But for real, hit the like button, all right? But what was I telling y'all? Yeah, Jane. She did a lot of things wrong with Diddy. Like, for instance, take the what and leave the what? Like, oh my God. She left her 1,400 square foot apartment for a 5,000 square foot home. Yeah, let's talk about it, okay? Yes. Like Glorilla said, talk to me now. You see? And that was a mistake. No sir, no way, no how. You see? But we're gonna get into the reason why she said she did that. We're gonna get into the reason why she said she did that. In just a minute. Hold on. I'm gonna get to some of those. You hold on. You stay right there. You see? But hold on, I gotta get through my notes. Okay, I gotta get through my handy dandy notes. It just is what it is. So we'll be here all day. You see, so shout out to that. Y'all make sure y'all hit that like button. But like, no, this lady should have had Diddy buy her a house. You see, it's all or nothing. Flat out, buy me a house, or I ain't going nowhere. Okay, so that was one of her mistakes. She made many. She made many and plenty, but that was definitely one. Okay, Miss Pressa Curl shouldn't have been. She shouldn't have been doing all of that for no rent. Okay, let's start there. But anyway, she did, and now here we are. So she said at times she did think Diddy would quit paying her rent. And she said at one point the hotels they had started to become an issue. Okay, because see one thing about Miss Preston Curl, she was getting every day, all the time, but she still had a sense of what was going on. You see, because unlike Cassie, Miss Preston Curl was a mother. She was a mother. So I feel like, it was times that she wasn't so every day. All the time, you see? Yeah, so shout out to that. I feel like at times, she had her mind, if you will. So like, she was hiding. Okay, she was in hiding. Now she was writing. You see, with all of Diddy's most nasty and far out of this world thoughts. You see, yeah, on another galaxy thoughts. I mean, I'm trying. You see, I'm trying. I don't want to be disrespectful to anybody, even though it just is what it is. Like this is crazy. Okay, it is what it is. It's crazy. But anyway, she was hiding. The truth of the matter is, she didn't want nobody to know. She was sneaking and creeping. And she said, like, the hotels was, like, freaking her out. Like, they was starting to freak her out, in another kind of way, you see. And it got to the point where, like, no. So she needed a house. She needed a house that Diddy, that was up to Diddy standards that Diddy can come to. So that's where the house came about. I said, shh. Diddy would have bought that mother sucker outright, you see? But when I think about it, maybe it's good. No. I take that back. Buy it. Still buy it. She could have sold it. She could have sold it, okay? Uh or you see, got down on the LA fires. I'm just playing, but like now, she would have been all right. But hold on. She wanted a house up to Diddy standards that they could get down in. It just is. So they could get down on it. Hey, she was ready to get down on it. You see? Yes, okay. Miss Presser Girl was about that life. Ha! Like, not in a funny way. For real, because I know this is a serious situation and it's delicate. And I like, listen. I'm going to handle it all the way through. You see, I'm just going to handle it like that all the way through. So shout out to that. But like just keeping it real. Like keeping it real, no chaser, straight to the point. Like I ain't cutting no corners today. You see? So anyway, yeah. He got a house she could get down in. And so, it was important because it was just important to her that nobody knew. And so in court, they start trying to make it seem like something about 3 months ahead, and but that was weird. And they lost me on that. And yeah, I do think that like, it worked in Miss Preston Curl favor for him to look like, you see, I'm still paying her rent, you know. So what was she talking about, you know? Because at this point, he listen, defense is grasping. You see, defense is defenseless. It is what it is. They just ain't got much. It is what it is. They really ain't got much, y'all. And I mean that. I mean that. Like, I listen, I used to watch a lot of court TV. You see, I used to watch a whole lot of court TV. And in court, baby, they used to rock and roll. It used to be way more interesting than what's going on in Diddy court. You see, it did. I like Diddy's trial is so underwhelming. You know, outside of the feds. Okay, it is what it is. Like they trying. You know, they trying. They trying. Like I seen somebody say, y'all trying to make Diddy look like a kingpin. And I'm like, well, listen, y'all hit the like button. The truth of the matter is he was doing kingpin stuff, though. He was. He was doing kingpin stuff. He was just freaky. You know, like that was his, you know. It is what it is. But he was. I mean, shout out to that. I don't know how many of y'all like then had to get scripts in y'all name for y'all boss, you know, or on your way to work had to stop by and holler at the plug, you see? But I mean, it just is what it is. Shit, I'm just saying, you see? Um, yeah. We just know what he was doing in his spare time. Mm-hmm. But he was a little bit. I mean, I could see a kingpin dangling somebody off of the balcony. No, you don't see it. I mean, you see, I'm just saying. And then I hate that they started that rumor that I really hate that they started that rumor that Diddy dangled Wale off of a balcony. Cause let me tell y'all like this. If Diddy really did dangle Wale off of if he really didn't dangle Wale off of a balcony, I feel sorry for Wale because I believe that. You know, it is what it is. Like I really feel bad for him if that's a fake story because I feel like a lot of people believe that. It just is what it is. You see? And we all know a girl, she came to court, you see, and she testified that Diddy did her like that. So I'm like, okay, you know, maybe that's his thing. You see? I said just you know, maybe that's just his thing. Okay? So shout out to that. Cause I don't care what nobody say. Don't get it. Please don't get it twisted, Miss Preston Curl. When it came to Diddy, anybody can get it. You see, like he wasn't just like hitting on bitches. You see? No. Okay. He had something for the ninjas too. Mm-hmm. Allegedly. Okay, so y'all hit the like button, okay? Period. Word on the curb is Miss Preston Curl wasn't scared now. All right, he wasn't scary. So, uh, I do not like that. I do not. Okay. Hold on. Listen, I don't know why. I don't know why. You see, like Anthony Hamilton said, why? Oh, why? I don't know why Diddy's attorneys will play an audio of him acknowledging a love contract. I don't know why. That was so dumb to me. You see, it just is what it is. That was dumb. Mm, mm. Hey, Dwayne. Hey, Tree. Hey everybody, y'all make sure y'all hit that like button, okay? Period. Shout out to that. It lets all my pooper stars know. You see the new ones and the old. Okay. Shout out to that. They let them know that I'm in the building. Mm. Sometimes people be needing I said they just be needing an alert. You see? Sometimes they just be need an alert. Okay. So shout out to that. Now anyway, it's hot. I'm hot, y'all. Yeah, like Mim said. So anyway, I got a long day planned. So shout out to that. I'm coming back. You see, after this video, I'm coming back with another video. A word on the curb. Period. I sure am. And that's another show segment, all right? I really don't know what we're gonna talk about like that, but we're gonna talk about something good. You know that. So shout out to that. I know we're gonna be talking about a little bit of this, a little bit of that. So period. Y'all make sure y'all come back if y'all want to talk that talk with me. You see? So shout out to that. Hey, Dwayne. So anyway, Dwayne, how you think Diddy doing? How's the defense doing? Is they winning it? Because you know, a lot of people feel like the prosecution's case isn't that strong. I've seen like law professionals, okay, people in the legal system feel like, okay, shout out to that and shout out to you. All right. Chi-Town now. We got Chi-Town in the building. Okay, so then this is where she gonna start talking about Young Miami. Okay, it is what it is. Yeah, she started talking about Young Miami right around here. You see, she finally did, but y'all already know she couldn't get it past. Like what? We already knew. You see. Yes, Miss Preston Curl, we had already added you up and subtracted you, baby. Yes. I had already know. You see, that you and Young Miami was like, yeah, y'all was just coexisting. You see, yeah, y'all just had to coexist. Okay, it is what it is because when Young Miami came around, he didn't necessarily want to give her up. You see, he didn't necessarily just want to kick Miss Preston Curl to the curb. It is what it is. He didn't mind though, because she started to get in his way. You see, it is what it is. Because he wanted to do what he wanted to do with Carisha. He had to do what he had to do with Carisha. You know, if he was going to get her to be in a freak out. You see, it just is what it is. He had to reel her in. Okay. So anyway, hold on. I said, hold on. I thought that was dumb. His lawyers was dumb for him playing that. So now y'all just proving that she was just a love machine, you see? And she wasn't supposed to work for nobody but him. Hey, you just a love machine. And I won't work for nobody but you. Da, da, da. Child, y'all know I'm a bust a move, okay? Yes, because the facts is coming out, okay? The facts is coming out in court. So yeah, then she started talking about Young Miami, y'all. Right around this time is when she started talking about Young Miami. She said, like, they was asking, like, how did you feel? I was frustrated. Cause how dare he out in public with Miss Pressing Curl, you see? And I don't get that. Publicly. She was like, I'm going on Instagram, I'm seeing them, and I'm sick. She's a whore. You see? Yeah, let's talk about it. At the end of the day, she's a whore. That's what Miss Press Girl said. She said she sure did. She said she sure did. She said she didn't like it. Not one bit. She felt like Young Miami had been with Diddy's friends. That's what she told Diddy. She didn't been with all your friends. And you flaunting around this whore. So yeah, behind the scenes, Miss Preston Curl, she wasn't only saying, I want me some me some You see, she had other shit to talk about. Yeah. Like Young Miami. Now it makes sense why Diddy was like, listen, I'm about to go ghost on you. I'm about to go ghost on you. Hey, Dwayne, do me a favor. Don't put that S word in that chat. Okay? Please don't put that S word in that chat. You gotta just say S. I could catch it. I know what you're talking about. Or you can spell it S-E-G. People, S-E-G. They just spell it different. You can change the spelling too. So shout out to that. I listen, I don't know. You see, I clicked that this is an adult show. I'm an adult. I'm definitely doing it for you see, I'm doing it for us, the adults. So like you know, it is what it is. I mean, I guess it's just certain stuff that we can and we can't talk about. Okay, it is what it is. Hold on. As we share their platform, okay? They share their platform with us. So it is what it is. Hold on, y'all. I know y'all get tired of me saying but it is what it is. That's like me coming back to where I was. See? So yeah. Okay. She getting it understood. She mad about Young Miami. It is what it is. And she said her name in court. So shout out to that. She said she didn't sign up for him to be dating other women publicly. Well, she said she didn't sign up to date a man in a public relationship. So like, come on now. What are we doing? She said, come on. Talk to me now. Yeah. And so, they quickly moved on from that. They just had to name drop, I don't know, probably making Young Miami feel some type of way. And let me just say this. Young Miami, okay, because they start asking Miss Preston Curl about Chanel bags and stuff like that, right? Because she testified that she feels like she testified that he took somebody shopping, you see, and bought her a Chanel bag. And she wasn't feeling that. Like, what? You see, like, what? Where's my Chanel at, Diddy? That's how she was coming at Diddy. And so, like, I think that was calculated. I do not think that was, like, hold on. Let me just say this. Young Miami got a song where she say, take me to Chanel, buy me Chanel, or something like that, right? I feel like, you see what I'm saying? Like, I feel like it's not, like, I feel like Young Miami be picking with her, if that makes sense. Hold on, though. It was another thing, too, It was two things. Two. Oh, yeah. Just recently, Young Miami made this big old stink online. Y'all make sure y'all hit the like button. Y'all make sure y'all hit my like button, okay? Period. If you're going to be here with me, that's what it is. Then that mean you rock with me. You see, you like something. So hit the like button. And shout out to that. And if you haven't already, subscribe too. But anyway, yeah, because I'm telling y'all, my channel is the place to be. So shout out to that. But oh yeah, Young Miami was also making this big old fuss about who I've been with. Who I've been with. How many men I've been with? How many men can y'all name that I've been with? You see, I think I could be wrong, but I think they had, like, in other words, it had already got back to Young Miami that this was finna happen. You see, like, yeah, that's what I think. It is what it is. Y'all know. Y'all know I'm always thinking. It just is what it is. So, yeah. I don't think it was a coincidence. You see what I'm saying? Those two things, I don't feel like they coincidental. That's like Diddy's, you see, fighting. It just is what it is. This is fighting. Shoot. They said they said that junkie with all that money is worth fighting for. Yeah. Okay. So anyway, then they said she testified to him liking it for her to give him foot massages. And they talking about Diddy started smiling and nodding his head. She talking about, that was my baby. I said, ooh, eek. You see? Now, see, everybody kept saying that they feel like Cassie would go back to Diddy. I said, I don't think so. You know, sometimes it's just too much hurt there, too much trauma, too much pain. Now, can Diddy ever mess with Cassie again? Now, that's different. I feel like if Cassie was to, like, Lord forbid, not be with her husband no more, then that's a possibility. But go back and be his woman, I don't think Cassie would ever want to do that. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes you just, like, once you get out of a situation, you see it for what it is for real. You see, like, some people you can really, like, the thought of them just is repulsive, you know, like it just makes you sick to your stomach. Like some people, they just go too far, you know, you just go too far where there's no coming back from that. I could never, we would never, you see? Shoot. In fact, some people even erase it out their memory. We never, okay? So anyway, that's that. I said, oh Lord, now her, I definitely get the vibe that, like, yeah, you know, if she could, I get the vibe that, like, she would stick around. Cause, like, at the end of the day, I got some final thoughts. Let me see. I don't want to share them all. I know I'm sharing some of them, and I hate that I'm doing that, but it is what it is. I got final thoughts. Shout out to Jerry Springer. Let me see if I wrote that, though. Yeah. Yeah, I wrote them down. I wrote it down in my final thoughts. So, yeah, I'll let y'all know what I feel about that a little bit more. But, like, yeah, I do. I think that Jane really, 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 like, I think at some point she did kind of think that, like, okay, maybe I am like his girl. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, you know, he's semi taking care of me. You know what I'm saying? So it was probably so mind effing. You know, I could just couldn't even imagine the mind if. Then not to mention again, you're not sober. You know, you're not sober as the middle of October. You see? So you doing all of this in a cloud. Child, listen, you know, from a fog, if you will. Child. So anyway, now they said Diddy had a full house. Okay, it was a full house up in the courtroom, they say. Christian, Justin, um, Quincy, his mother. I told y'all the mama there, she just seeing if she gonna the mama there just seeing if they gonna have to throw down the wallet to them kids. You see, it is what it is. Cause she see her baby in a burning building. Um, Even his baby mama. Oh, Diddy so messy. I didn't think about that. Yeah, he had his baby mama there too, child. Mm. Cause I don't know why it ain't came up, but I'm sure Jane probably wanted a baby too. Okay, they be wanting a baby. So hold on. She didn't want nobody to find out about them freak offs though. She did not want nobody to find out about them freak offs. Um, But the attorney was in court, you know what I'm saying? Now, I will say she did do her job on that. You know, I will say she did do a good job about that. She was basically insinuating that Jane was mad at Diddy about more than just freak offs, though. Like, you was mad because he was texting other bitches. You see, like Black China said, mm. That's what she was mad about. Yes, okay, Miss Pressicurl. Like, I felt like the attorney did a good job with that, but again, still, her questioning was all over the place. Her questioning was so all over the place. I was like questioning like my source and they source, and I'm like, wait, now where's the real tea? But like, according to a shout out to Armand Wiggins, who has actually been in the courtroom, he said the same thing. He said like it was crazy. You see, um, yeah. Attorney Teeny Garagos, her questioning was here, there, everywhere. You see, like your girl Shay Renee. Yeah. Now Garagos, y'all know that's a famous lawyer name. Her daddy name is Mark. They said Miss Pressica was sitting there in court, you know, listening, watching his baby, work, you know, try to work her magic for Diddy. And I'm like, okay, well, what? Okay, never mind. So many questions there, but it is what it is. Hold on. So they asked her how she felt about Diddy's how did she feel about Diddy having a polyamorous lifestyle? She said it was shocking at first. It was new and shocking. Hold on. She said, did it hurt your feelings? She was like, yeah. Um, then she said she started to research it though. She wanted to know more about this man that she had fell in love with that was having her do all this weird stuff to her. Okay. So she said she looked it up. Um, and she found some type of word, cut hole, or something like that. And it's about a man who likes to watch his woman have the, you know, S word. And she thought that, but she said she also found another word that she felt was suitable for Diddy. She said it's called a cook. Okay, a cook. And a cook is somebody that might be bi, but might be a little too scared to um do it himself. So he uses the woman as a vessel to do what he's scared to do. And that the freak offs could have been a way of him coming close. I said, ooh, Miss Pressing Girl, yeah, she going there. You see, it just is what it is. She going all the way there, Diddy. Uh, mm, mm. Yeah, she said she tired. You see, um, she tired of holding in your secrets. So anyway, so she tried to say, um, the lady tried to say, so she basically trying to make Diddy look better than what he's been looking like. It is what it is. So she's like, well, it was times that you didn't want to perform and Diddy would like send the person home, right? And she was like, yeah, sometimes, but that was rare. And he would still expect me to do something. You know, like she said, I would have to go through the motions, Miss Person Girl, with your client, like where it ain't clicking. You see, yeah, she wanted to know if the engine was clicking, you know, or was it failing like an old box Chevy. You see, sometimes. Uh, she said a cook derives pleasure, because they was asking her like, well, what do you mean? You see, yeah, go ahead, free your mind, Miss Pressing Girl. That's what the attorney said. And she was like, a cook derives pleasure from watching his woman derive pleasure. Cooks are also could be bi-curious. That's what she said. But they get too scared to do it themselves. And they said Diddy leaned and was looking at his lawyer. Like, oh my God. I said, Lord, Miss Pressing Girl, so you like to get by a cook. You see, you like to get by a cook. Oh Lord. You see. Hold on. They asked, did you enjoy watching the videos? No. You see, like no. But you did. She said it was something that she tolerated. Again, they trying to clean up his image, and she like, no, no, She's standing firm. Um, and at the end of the day, I see what's going on. I see the play. I sees the plot. Like this lady feels like she is owed some money too. You see? And she ain't trying to mess up her bag up there. It is what it is. Um, she got a lawyer in there with her too. She said, why participate? She said, out of love. Oh my goodness. Mm, mm, mm. That was crazy. She said it would be times where, you know, she would speak up though. Times she would speak up and Diddy would acknowledge, you know, and let, you know, the people go. But again, you know, the lady is in court trying to prove that like Diddy was, like the lady was in more control than what she was, basically. And I wrote down, don't waste my time. You see, Miss Guerra goes, yeah. Mm, mm. I said, ooh, child. She said, I'm about to go fuck on my cook. You see, I'm about to go on my cook. Um, and that's another thing too. Maybe she felt like Diddy then was being funny. You see, yeah. Cause you know Diddy. One thing about Diddy, you know how Diddy is. I feel like he was being funny. I definitely feel like he was being funny. Talking about calling that lady his crap pipe, his crap pipe, his crap pipe. You see, he didn't have to tell us that. And I think he was being funny. So I felt like she was being funny too. You see. Mm. She said, we're going to all laugh today. Uh, and she said KK didn't like her. Period. She said her KK did not like her. She felt like KK didn't like her. So KK never had her best interest. I said, yeah, interest. I said that could be true. That I believe. KK probably didn't like her for whatever reason. And she said she felt like that would influence how Diddy would treat her, and I believe that too. You know, like believe it or not, like people's closest people have a huge influence on them. Okay, don't think they don't. So anyway, she said she would. She would. You know what I'm saying? She admitted. See, that's what I like about her. She was very vocal. And she didn't mind like keeping it real in court at all. She said she would speak up about things, lots of things, but that don't mean she would get her way. I said, Lord, this lady is cooking. You see? She up there cooking. It is what it is. Now this tripped me out. She said this lady said that they would role play and they would act like Kobe, Shaq, and Jordan. I said, my, where's Johnny Gill? I was done. You see, I was done with Mrs. Preston Curl by then and her testimony. Because it is what it is. I said, hold on. Yeah, I said at this point, all the attorney is doing is asking this alleged freak about being freaky. You see, like that's it. That's it. That's all I was getting from this testimony on this day. Okay, it just is what it is. I listen, Diddy's defense team. Yeah, shout out to that. Hey, Pooh. It's your girl, Shay Renee, and guess what? I'm bored with you. You see? Yeah. Shout out to that. I just think I'm bored with y'all. It is what it is. Like, I have been bored with Diddy's defense team. Hell, I've been told Diddy. Fire them all. You know, it is what it is. But I keep it real too, though. This is before Miss Preston Curl even rolled up in there with his all-star team, okay? So anyway, J B this. Hey, no, J B Dub. Shout out to J B Dub for jumping in my comments. If you still here, Jay, let me know. Is Diddy getting off in my opinion? No. You see, in my honest opinion, no. But I don't know. For real. I don't. Because that pardon stuff, it's just that pardon stuff. You see, like, because if he could, if Trump gonna pardon them, then yeah, he gonna get out. Yay, your coochie, you see? So anyway, child. I said take the what and leave the what? Why the hell would this man have you playing Kobe? I was through, you see? I was done. You know, disgusted, okay? So shout out to that. This the subject? What the title says, we talking Diddy. We talking Diddy, okay? And the defense team not having no damn defense. It is what it is. At this point, they just don't have no damn defense. Hold on. We getting there though. I promise you, we getting there. I'm driving us home. About to drive this thing home. Hold on. Now, at one point, I told y'all it got a little, you know, a little feisty in the courtroom, got a little feisty in the courthouse, you see, because the lawyer referred to Jane's child as like the gender. And she like boy, girl, whatever. She said whatever she said, you see. And she said, please refer to my child as my child. And the attorney apologized. Tenny apologized. So anyway, and then they talking about something about a juror. There's some type of drama going on. They're talking about a juror. One of the jurors might be being removed. An issue with a juror. I don't know. I don't know. Okay, but I can tell y'all that as of yesterday, nobody was removed. Okay, but like, yeah, the defense team. Hold on. The defense team is defenseless. Okay, they are. They listen. They don't really know what to do. It is what it is. Let me tell y'all something. And now we basically then got through the whole court day. You see, because like I said, they at some point I like somebody in dance class. I tapped out. Yeah, you see. Or MMM fighter, baby. I tapped. You see. So shout out to that. I was done. You know, like, ugh. Like I said, watching Diddy's team is so underwhelming. It is so underwhelming. Not to mention Word on the Curb is. I know that's right. God bless you as well. I know, okay, that it's just boring. They are boring. Watching them is like watching, you know, your picture dry, your paint. You know what I mean? You see, I mean, it's really hard to watch Diddy's team. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of sad, actually. It's kind of sad. And with that being said, y'all know Brian Steele. Shout out to Brian Steele. You know, if I ever need you, please be there, Brian. It just is what it is. Cause you see, I messed with you, Brian. But anyway, they say Miss Pressing Curl is gonna file for a mistrial if he don't do nothing else. Now he just filed for one and it got denied. Okay, I just want y'all to know it was denied. At least Word on the Curb. What Word on the Curb is it was denied. Okay, officially denied by the judge. Okay, the judge said, child. Anyway, let's continue. You see, and so and they ain't getting it there. It's just like, but at the end of the day, I feel sorry for the attorneys a little bit, kind of, sort of, not much. It is what it is because they getting paid now. Mm. They getting paid. You know, a hefty sack probably to be there. So it is what it is. I ain't worried about them too much. But you know, it is what it is. Like cause I ain't no I just feel like it's hard to defend this, right? So like, she said she at one point she said, would you describe him as an addict when y'all met? Or when y'all was partying, or at some particular time, right? And Miss Pressinger, she was ready. She said, no, I would describe him as somebody that knows how to party. She was like, but now, looking back, yeah, he's an addict. I said, oh, Lord, so is that what they running with? Like, do they want to, like, is that the defense? Like, you knew he was Rick James when you met him, bitch? You see? I said, is that where they going? Because, like, I'm just having a hard time following, you see? I'm just having a hard time following his defense. And like I said, like, they are, I don't know. They just getting paid so much money, you would think they would come on with it. Yeah, like Dave Chappelle said, you would think they would come on with it just a little bit more. Now hold on, court might be from 1 to 5 today. Okay, so shout out to that. Everybody who like to sleep in, got errands to run, whatever you got going on. I definitely got a busy day. So shout out to that. That's why God bless me. Let me just say this. My leg is feeling better. Oh, thank you, Jesus. And I got 2 shows today. So like now, you see, I wasn't playing. I wasn't playing that old tired, can't get out the bed bullshit this morning. It is what it is. So come on. You see? And I was up. So it is what it is. I got another show right after this. I'm going to gather my thoughts, gather my handy dandy notes, and then I'm coming right back, you see, to do a word on the curve. We got to talk Clarissa Shields. Clarissa. Y'all know I got a show segment called Feedback. I ain't did feedback in a while. I might give Clarissa some feedback, you see. So anyway, shout out to that, though. That's good. That's... Let me tell you something. Feedback is what it is. You know, like people really be needing it. So shout out to that. I'm excited for that. Anyway, hold on. The court gonna be from 1 to 5 today, y'all. They was asking her, do she know how much of a Chanel bag cost and all of that? And like I said, I think that was like, I think they being messy. You know, like I also think that they trying to catch her up and be like, you lied. You said Diddy didn't do nothing for you. Diddy did do stuff for you. You know what I'm saying? He just didn't do what he did for them other girls. Like, I feel like they being messy, but they don't necessarily know they being messy. But, you know, I feel like Diddy got them being messy with the Chanel bag. It is what it is. Because he definitely took Young Miami to Chanel, okay? And I don't care what Diddy say. He knew that was going to break that girl heart. Young Miami. You see? I bet you that girl was saying, what the hell? What the helly? Yeah. I bet you she said that before Rob 49 did. Yeah, you see? I bet you she said, take the what and leave the what? This ninja is crazy. He done lost his mind, child. Listen, Diddy. That Chanel trip might have cost you. I'm just saying it might have cost you. It might have cost you. You see, everybody talking about Cassie was jealous of Young Miami. I don't think so. Now Jane, oh yeah, jealous of the motherfucker. You see, she even admitted to it. So anyway, child, please. She told Diddy, you just wait right there. You see, I got something for you. So it is what it is. And then last but not least, they did bring up the fact and the point, because this is the thing. See, Jane might be like I said, Jane might be about to take the civil route. Like Martin Luther King. Now just ooh, child. Today gonna be a good day. I could just feel it. You see? So shout out to that. Now anyway, yeah, for real. Like, hey, I like the hey, Kanye West say, I'ma work the middle till it hurt. That's my song. Well, not like that, but that was a bop. So shout out to Tiana for that one. But yeah, so he put her in his 5,000 square foot home. I said that, yeah, that's kind of big. I know 50 was mad. Yeah, I know 50 was mad. Shout out to that. I bet you. How much you want to bet? That's what got a private investigator sick on her. 50 Cent probably said, and now you got to worry about the dog catching your ass, you see? So shout out to that. Yeah, he probably started doing his research then. He probably was trying to see who was Miss Preston Curl laying down with. After she upgraded like that. But anyway, 20 bands. He gave her 20 bands to invest into a business. I said, and didn't ask for nothing in return. I said, okay, go ahead, Diddy. Now 20 bands ain't shit to Diddy, but still, you see, he did. He gave it to Miss Preston Girl, and it wasn't long. Now I said, ooh, eek, you know, it made me wonder. What Diddy? What you invest into Carissa? You see, because we all know that podcast, you know, wasn't free, even though it was on his stuff. You know what I'm saying? Even though it was on his stuff, like, you just never know. Okay. Anyway, we all know Bad Boy paid for it. So anyway, shout out to that. But yeah. So that was court. That was court. Court was court. And anyway, she gonna be there again today. Now I'm really hoping that they get her out the stand today. I want her to get out the stand today. It is what it is. People are saying that like the like this might be all coming to an end, and I'm like, what? No, Miss Preston Girl, we still need KK. What you mean? You see, like we wants to hear from KK. You know, child, we ain't never want to hear from a KK so damn bad. This is crazy. But it is what it is. You know, KK might not be coming to the stand. You know, but people are feeling like the prosecution might be finna arrest, and like that is like, man, nah. You see? I'm gonna need y'all to give us something else to talk about. You see? Like the song said. But anyway, child. Now let me get into my final thoughts with y'all, and then I'm about to bump it on down. Come back and talk my other topics with y'all. So it is what it is. Shout out to that. Y'all know I be back. Y'all know I be back. Period. Because we got to talk some of this word on the curve. Now, it ain't been a lot going on, but it's been enough going on for us to talk about. So anyway, shout out to that. Did y'all see Wale making an ass out of himself? I said, oh, yes, that was funny to me. Yes, Lord. Because one thing about Wale, like, I used to like Wale. I was like, I loved Wale's music, you see? And I'm a music girl, so it is what it is. Like, I am a fan. But this is the thing. I'm not a fan of Wale's attitude. Wale's attitude is stank. It is. It's very... very stank. You see, in fact, Wale was Summer Walker before Summer Walker was Summer Walker. Yeah, you see, in fact, he ran so Summer could jump. It just is what it is. Wale ran so Summer could run around here doing a bunny hop. And like just be an ass. It just is what it is. Just completely be an ass. But I can honestly say, like, I didn't get the same vibe from Summer that I got from Wale. Wale, it was like, I don't know. I can't even explain it. But if I just had to say, like, give it one word, it's like standoffish, you know? And this is my thing. I don't have a problem with him being standoffish. I have a problem with him being a standoffish artist. You know, like that doesn't go hand in hand. You see, like Tony Braxton said, how you gonna let that flow? I don't, you see. I just feel like it just don't go together. And see, one thing about me, I hate people that jump in. This is just my personal opinion. I hate people that jump in the wrong profession. Like, I don't like that. I cannot, one thing about me, I cannot stand that. You see? And I guess that might be because I'm big on customer service. Like, I am huge on customer service. You see? For me, customer service is everything. And depending on how you treat me, It depends on if I'm coming back or not. Like, if you treat me bad, I'm never coming back. You see? Like, I be feeling like, oh, Lord, my head itching. But no, for real. I be feeling like, nah. You see? Like, baby, I will grab my little purse straps and you ain't got to worry about it. You see? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And when I say never, I do mean never. You see, like, I got it in me. So shout out to that. And so, like, one thing about me, I can't stand to see people that like I said, I feel like they in the wrong position. You see? Like, if, like, for instance, if you're I don't know how to put it, but if you're an a-hole, then go get you a job where you can be that. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure it's plenty of jobs where you can be an a-hole at and be good at it. You know what I'm saying? Um, you know what I'm saying? Like, for real. Like, seriously. Like, just recently I was had a run in with the Popo child. Yeah, I did. Mm. And like, you see. And like, for instance, I wasn't feeling her. And I felt like she wasn't feeling me. So I was like, you know what, girl, let you get the fuck on. You see? Yeah, so I could get the fuck on. And everything gonna be all right. So shout out to that. But like, now, but like, I didn't expect no, like, she was the loud. So the attitude that she carried, I expected for her to carry it. You know? Um, F you too. You see? Yeah. It is what it is. I got my Eddie Murphy on in so many ways without saying it. Yes. Yes. F you too. You see? But like, certain people, like, no. Certain people, like, no. Absolutely not. And I give you a prime example. People at schools. To me, people at schools, they should have the best attitudes. You see, the best attitudes. Listen, if you work at a school, you don't need to be nasty at all. You see, so now I'm side-eyeing the people who hired you too. Yeah. So shout out to that. Like, people that work at schools, you know, like, I can't explain it, but you expect for them to be some of the most sweetest, kindest, you know what I'm saying? But firm individuals, Um, you don't be expecting to be dealing with no attitude. Like, I don't want to deal with no attitude when it comes to my kids' school. I can tell you right now. Like, I'm not, you see, I'm not one of them. So anyway, but it's not just that. It's lots of different places too. Like, I can't, if you in customer service, period, you see, yeah, I'm going to need you to, like, put it in the back of your mind that you getting into it with your man that day. You see, like, whatever it is, I need you to get over it. You see, like a fence. Like, I'm gonna need you to put an imaginary fence in your fucking mind. You see, and jump it. You see, yeah, I'm gonna need you to get over it before you get to me. So shout out to that. Um, and I don't know what made me go so long on that, but I did. Period. So anyway, these attorneys. Let me see. Yeah, she kept it real. She said, Diddy going public with Young Miami. Young Miami definitely hurt her feelings. And I had a final thought about that. Hold on. Listen, oh yeah, that's what my final thought was about that. Okay, so she testified that her Diddy going public with Young Miami hurt her feelings, and I said, of course, of course. Um, but this is the thing though. When she met Diddy in 2020, started messing with him in 2021. He was fresh out of a relationship with Cassie. But the truth of the matter is, I think Diddy had a way, right, of making these women want what the last woman had. You see? So Cassie, she had, because one thing about Diddy is he rich, he wealthy, he famous. He been famous for a long time. If you Google him, pictures of him and his exes are gonna pop up, right? So it's a lifestyle. That's what I feel like. I feel like Diddy did a good job of making the next bitch inspired by the ex bitch, if that makes sense. You see? Yeah, shout out to that. I think, like for instance, Cassie wanted what Kim had. And in the end, she put in a lot of work trying to get it. You see? And then here come Jane. She wanted what Cassie had. I think ultimately she was waiting. She was hoping and wishing and singing and praying, damn it, that like Diddy would give her what Cassie had. The red carpets, all of it. I take a step further. Jane probably even knew, she probably even thought that like, okay, I'm Diddy type too. You know what I'm saying? Based off of the Cassie thing, okay? But I do think that when she saw Young Miami step out in public with Diddy, she was like, oh my God. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh my God. Like, hold on. You know what I'm saying? Like Young Dog said, hold up. You see, she was like, wait. Oh my God, like, no. He finna, you see? I feel like Miss Preston Carroll realized that, oh my God, he's finna give it to Young Miami. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh my God. Things that I had in the back of my mind, like maybe I'm not going to be his woman like that. Maybe we never going to go public. Maybe this is just all about what we be doing. You know what I'm saying? Like Noble. You see? Maybe future songs start popping up in her head. She probably starts saying, oh my gosh, I don't even have an AP, just different things, you see? And so, yeah, I do. I think she did start going off about it. It just is what it is. And the mistrial was denied. I said, yeah, like I said, my final thoughts. They basically used their whole day, all their time, asking the lady who was treated like a freak about sending freaky texts. They wasted all our time with that. If you ask me, that's my opinion. I feel like they wasted all our damn time with that. And then I said in the end, they would start asking her about the rounds with rugs, and if she knew that Diddy was an addict. And I'm like, well, where they going with that? Like I said, like, yeah, so all this time you knew, you should have knew that was Rick James, bitch. You see, like, what was you expecting for real from Rick James? Like, it seemed like that's what his attorneys was getting at. I said, eek. You see? They running with that, okay? So hold on now. Hold on. This is wild. Cause hold on, now I'm confused. Okay, now they starting to confuse me. Is this Diddy the businessman? You know, is it Diddy the businessman or Diddy the addict on trial? Like, come on now, like. And that's why I said the defense to me is defenseless. You know, they really don't have much to defend these crimes. You see, so I'm like, Diddy, man, let the man, Diddy, Diddy, save your money, okay? Save your money, player. Just get you a public, a public defender at this point. I feel like the public defender will come in and they could, just take over and you could save, a portion of that money so you can have something in their wallet. You see, when you end up throwing it down, it just is what it is. But Diddy got a lot of money. So, it is what it is. Miss Preston girl gonna give up a fight. He gonna put up a fight. And he already showing that. It is what it is. He already showing that. He got all of these people on his payroll. So anyway, and then that's another thing too. They was telling us who coming next. They ain't even been telling us who coming next. That's annoying. But anyway, Poopa Stars, those are my final thoughts about court. Okay. Court, listen, this is it's interesting, but then it's boring at the same time, if that makes sense. Diddy's team is making it boring. The most exciting thing about the defense table is Diddy ass sitting at it. You see, and he can't even talk. He can't even say nothing. I said, in a minute, he gonna get in trouble for messing with the sketch lady. Because, he keep talking to her. And I can tell it's working. They said Diddy pulled her to the side and told her, listen, can you please, like soften me up. You know what I'm saying? Like soften me up a little bit. Like you got me looking like a koala bear. You know what I'm saying? And I believe that. You know what I'm saying? I believe that was a true story, y'all, because her sketches changed. You see? For real, like they changed. I can't explain it, but like now, Diddy is like I don't know, her pictures are her sketches are way more sharp now, if that makes sense. Like, I don't know. They look better though. You know what I'm saying? I can honestly say that they do. They look better. So shout out to Diddy. Child, for speaking up for himself. But they were saying that he was talking to her again, I think. So like, yeah, he better leave her alone for he end up getting in trouble, because we see the judge ain't really playing with him. And that's the thing though. Diddy got to understand, like, he can be very influential. And like, I feel like that's the last thing these people want. Okay? Because I did hear one expert saying that it's hard to convict celebrities. That she was saying that convicting celebrities is always a challenge, because people be starstruck. And I believe it. I do. I can believe it. So it is what it is, child. Day 20 of Diddy fighting for his life. It is what it is. R. Kelly thought he was fighting. You see, Diddy fighting too now. So, wow. It is what it is. But yeah, y'all. Y'all know what it is. Keep it right here for all your Diddy updates, because I'm there. Okay, we on a trial watch. It is what it is. And yeah, I see y'all on the next politicking hour. Don't forget to hit the like button, y'all. Hit that like button. All right, and if you haven't already, click subscribe too. And I will see y'all in my next video. I'll be right back, y'all. Give me like 30 minutes to an hour. Okay, so shout out to that. Hey, the bestest. Shout out to you for jumping in my comments too. Don't forget to hit the like button, okay? And I'll see y'all on my next video. Bye.